Welcome back everyone, this is Arafallon playing Dungeon Breaker. Last time was almost all exploration, where we pretty much got all of the ruins, we got all the way down to the bottom here. This time is likely to be almost all story, because again, we are at the bottom of the ruins, we have the 3 sealing stones, there is something here, something is bound to happen. And there's even a little thing on the map before it disappeared and we got into the scene. And Alec is belatedly realizing, hey, this is where we fell earlier, the place we found. And she's remembering what they did then, which is making her a little self-conscious. So Alec's wondering, is this the place where the power of the Wizard is sealed? It certainly has that feel to it, and not sure where else it could be. Let's report to Celsia. Okay, apparently she wasn't actually coming along with us, she was waiting behind while we explored. But she did insist on coming along when we tried to unseal this thing, so... As she's saying now, that sounds like it has to be the place, let's all go. Anyway, she's saying her gut says that's the place. Alec says that's not really reliable. Kind of a hope and optimism thing. And she's getting annoyed, telling them, you gotta try it or you'll never know. Asking Karen if she knows how to release the seal. You bring the 3 sealing stones to where the seal is, and it should come loose. Okay, let's go. She's looking forward to this, and being praised by her father, perhaps. And suddenly we're back down here. It's a lot easier when the game moves you automatically instead of having to walk through the whole way. Anyway, something's shining. This sounds like it's the seal. Alex saying, we don't know yet. Let's try the stones. Karen's mentioning the paladins aren't here yet. What's keeping them? Well, it seems her father is going to be coming, so the elite guard, or whatever you want to call them, are coming in their place. Celsia is excited, does not notice Karen does not look one bit happy about this. Tina notices she's not looking good, what's wrong? So here's the King's Guard. And here's the King. You've gathered the stones and found where the seal is, it would seem. So yes, it's thanks to these people. Now go release the seal while he watches. He holds out the stones to the shining light, and nothing happens. Celsia can't believe it. She is going to be those, and she's doing stuff with them and waving them around, probably. Yeah, bringing them up to the light over and over again, and nothing's happening. Karen says it seems this is not the place. Let's give up and try somewhere else. Celsia is not happy. And Alec tells her, look, don't get down, we'll keep looking. But the king says, no, this is the seal. There's no mistaking it. And he's like right there looming over them, takes the stones from Celsia's hand, and throws the... Wait, that was the blue one away? Yes, you may recall the blue one is the first one we found. After finding it, Karen slipped into Alec's room, kind of distracted him and got him sleepy, and took the stone. And the king turns to Karen and says, "Why don't you give me the real blue sealing stone?" And she asks, "Are you saying I have it?" With the Crystal of Ra Valtiana, I can tell where the stones are. He holds his hand out. Celsia is asking what's going on here. Karen, do you really have the blue sealing stone? Why would you do this? Karen does not respond. She is looking around. The guards have their blades drawn and are closing in around her. So you're not going to hand it over? Guards are going after Celsia and Tina. But she's confused and distraught. What are you doing to Tina and Celsia? Yeah, he tries to press the king, but there's no sign of emotion in his eyes, and he's realizing this doesn't look good. Karen says, "Don't. He's serious. If we resist, they'll be killed." Tina can't believe this. I mean, me is one thing, but she's his own daughter. Celsia's pleading with him, "Say something." And how he says is, "I'll say this one more time, hand over the stone." And she takes it out and hands it over. Apologizes to Celsia, saying, "I have a reason. I must have the arts of the wizard." And she took the stone from Alec just in case they fell into the wrong hands. And Celsia is shaken because not only is her father acting so violently, but she trusted Karen and Karen lied to her. In any case, he has the stones. He's after the power. Yeah. Alec says, "Hey, you're a king. What more power do you need?" And as Alec speaks up, there's the first sign of emotion in the king's eyes. That's right. As a king, I have the greatest, political power, basically. And that's allowed me to act freely. But that's not real power. I realized that when Celsia's mother died. She withered away and lost her life right before my eyes. Yeah, my first up-close and personal experience with death was when my father and mother died in battle. Or war, probably. And even with the power of a king, death is still inescapable. But there is a way to avoid it here. He gives the stones. Tina cries out. Celsia's confused, and suddenly the stones burst and there's a door here. And the orb of light gets bigger, but gets burst and eventually settles down, and there's a door floating in the air. And the seal is released. Anyway, the crystal is shining. The soldiers are surprised by the light. They kind of shy away from Celsia. She doesn't miss that, or Karen doesn't miss that and takes action. That fiery burst. Flings it at the king. There's an explosion. Guards are blown away, but here's Jade. Karen Eschmark, you're not the only one who can use sorcery. He has his hand held out in front of an explosion, and by some power or another has stopped it. And he basically throws it back at her. And she's thrown to the ground and isn't moving. Alec's, of course, concerned for her. Dana is, of course, concerned for her and can't believe it. Celsia is just having one trauma after another. Yep. And Jade reiterates, the one who holds the crystal is my master. And it is the fervent wish of the wizard to revive... there's that word again, the godlike person. Gail arrives, he's saying, excuse me, your majesty, we're unable to find the divine beast. Must be hiding somewhere. He says, it's alright, I found one. And the soldiers go for Tina, tear off her headband. And there's her ears. You may recall who else had ears like that. And that Jade called the other person with ears like that a divine beast. And the king says these ears are proof of being a divine beast. The way to the godlike power, basically. And he says, guide me. She's not happy. So what you want doesn't matter. Now that the crystal is awakened, you have no choice but to do what I want. Crystal shining, he puts it to her forehead. And that doesn't sound good. Alec struggling, demanding that he let her go. She's trying to swear that she won't give in, but he finds it remarkable on how much she's resisting. He says the pendant on her chest may be causing it. Is that the pendant Alec gave her earlier? Either way. The king demands it be taken off. Jade says, you can just take it like this for now and remove it later, I think. He says, very well, we can do that. We have no further use for the others. Yeah, and here come the soldiers again, and they're pretty much too out of it to even try to resist. And that's when Roy appears. With his paladins, comes into the room. It seems there's been communication from the church headquarters, and the king is being excommunicated. This is essentially saying that for concealing and using heretical powers, you and those who side with you are declared enemies of God, and may you rot in hell, basically. The king's guards are wavering at these words. And the king's guards are wavering, but the king himself says, what of it? If you think you can send me to hell, why don't you try it? Right, saying basically the target is confirmed to be a heretic and ordering everyone to attack. But he calls them fools and says, behold the power of Ra Valtiana. Crystal shines, space warps. Dozens, hundreds of monsters appear. He orders them on. And the monsters attack not just the paladins, but also the king's own guards. So as this is going on, Gray, the king, takes Jade and Tina and some unspecified others with him through the door. Gray's not pleased. He says, these numbers are more than we can handle. Fall back. Calls out to Huck, saying, we need to escape. Alec is, of course, still struck with Tina, what happened to her. Put together. Anyway. There are people who need saving that only you can save. You can't give up now. We'd call it Karen Celsia. Celsia seems to be physically okay, but she's obviously very much out of it. Karen is going to need treatment, though. So they're carrying her back. Yes, Alec, I presume, to carry Celsia. Yes, he's going to be carrying her. And he swears he's going to save Tina. And here we have the beginning of the final chapter. There's that word again. I keep not being sure how I want to pronounce or translate that. Because this is basically God, this is basically person, and usually what that would mean is someone with supernatural abilities, or godlike powers. But there's not really a single English word that does that well. Maybe like a Superman kind of thing, but that doesn't really... Anyway. That was kind of a lot to digest, so I think I'm going to stop the episode here, even though it's going to be a bit short. So for now, this has been Arafellan playing Dungeon Breaker. Come back next time, and if I'm not mistaken, we'll get some very interesting flashbacks. Hope to see you then.